Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, fabulous Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Quiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Bryce Corbett. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day, run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now, it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained, and in the process, see who's smarter, kids or adults. Plus, of course, because it's a Friday, we've got all today's birthday shout-outs and all the shout-outs for the weekend ahead, including, of course, the birthday reggae tune, because it wouldn't be a Friday without it. So, here's how the quiz works. 5 questions for the kids about the week in news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Easy. You ready? Let's do this. Alright kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1, and let's kick off with a sporting question. Kick off. Sport. Get it? And which team won this week's NRL State of Origin match? Yeah, of course, it was New South Wales! Question number 2. We heard in the podcast yesterday about a great big migration of antelope taking place on the plains of South Sudan. Which continent is that country in? Well done if you said Africa. Question number 3. Our special guest on the Squiz Kids Q&A this week was world-beating 14-year-old from the Gold Coast, Arissa True. Famous as the only woman in her sport to have done a 900, which is 2.5 rotations in mid-air, which sport am I talking about? Yes, of course, Arissa True is a skateboarder. Question number 4. Prince William went viral this week when videos circulated of him shaking it off in the stands of which pop princess's concert in London. And the clue, quite clearly, is in the question. Well done if you said Taylor Swift. Question number 5. We heard in the podcast this week how the United Nations had issued a report card on the state of a famous Australian natural wonder, saying that all efforts needed to be taken to protect it. Now, if I told you that its initials were GBR, and that it's located off the coast of Queensland and home to many, many beautiful marine creatures, what natural wonder would I be talking about? Yes, of course, I'm talking about the Great Barrier Reef. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? And do you think that's going to be enough to beat the adults? I'm hoping so. All right, adults, now it's your turn. Let's fire up the old grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. The news at the end of this week was dominated by the release from prison and return to Australia of which famous whistleblower? That's right, it's Julian Assange. Question number 2. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese this week welcomed to Canberra the new leader of which of our neighbouring South Pacific nations? Bit of a tough one, this one. It was the Solomon Islands. Question number 3. In which city was this week's NRL State of Origin played? There you go, an easy one for you. Yes, of course, it was played in Melbourne, which makes no sense at all, but there you go. Question number 4. There was big news this week in the world of retail when which big Aussie department store announced it was joining forces with Premier Investments, the parent company of brands that include Peter Alexander and Smiggle. Well done, adults, if you said Maya. Question number 5. The United Kingdom is careering towards a general election in which it's widely expected the Labour Party will be swept into power. What's the name of the party leader and probable Prime Minister? His name is Keir Starmer. How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who has won bragging rights this week? Now, if you've missed any of these cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all of this week's Squiz Kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. That's the end of the quiz, which means it's now time for...
Shout-outs.
It's Friday, June 28. Today is Matariki, the new year in the Maori lunar calendar. It's also the last day of school for those of you in Victoria and Western Australia. Woohoo! Happy holidays. And remember, we're taking a little break too. And starting this Monday, we go into school holiday content mode, meaning 2 bumper Kids vs. Adults quizzes this Monday and next Monday. And then from Tuesday through to Friday, Christy is going to be releasing a Squiz Kids daily brain teaser, with the challenge dropping first thing in the morning and then the answer dropping at 3 p.m. later that same afternoon. Genius! But let's get to the shout-outs, because today is also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today and over the coming weekend. And because there are so many of you, let's crack out, and also because it's a Friday, let's crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it. And it's a happy birthday too! Henry from Chatswood, Mikey from Lura, Halo from Ashmont, Tom and Ishan from Middle Harbour, Matthew and Comley from Forest Lake, Charlotte from Yarraville, Owen from Womberall, Emma from Rapid Bay, Noah from Shell Harbour, Leota from Bond Beach, Carla from Oran Park, Eloise from Blue Mountains, we're only halfway there, Noah from Oxford Falls, Eason from Tanamera, Kyson from Warrnambool, Bennett from Ivanhoe, Grace from Tennyson Point, Jackson from Madawi, Sienna from Rosebud, Ryder from Australia, Hunter from Rose Bay, Owen from Cook, Lynn from Rowville, Isaac from Camp Hill, hang on a minute, I've got to take a breath, James from Concord, and Henley from Golgong, who turns 88 today. Wow. Not quite in our demographic, but good on you, Henley. And belated birthday wishes go to Liam from Neutral Bay. And don't forget, if your birthday falls over the next 2 weeks while we're in school holiday mode, we'll be giving you a belated birthday shout out in the week when we get back on the tools starting Monday, July 15. Well, that's all we have time for. I hope you're enjoying these quizzes. Don't forget, there'll be a new one dropping first thing every Friday morning. And the best bit, they're absolutely free. Just as our other excellent content is free too. We're talking a Squiz Kids Today news podcast on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, a Squiz Kids Shortcut or a Squiz the World every Tuesday, and for all the teachers out there, there's the Classroom Companion, our teacher-produced classroom activity sheets, curriculum aligned and tied to the Daily Pod on Mondays, and whose entire back catalogue is now searchable via our website. Genius. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or simply subscribe to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app and all this audio content will magically appear. For now, this is Bryce Corbett signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.